Welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel, everyone. This is Rich making another video on XRP today. As usual, we're going to talk about XRP today, so I hope everyone is having a fantastic day wherever they are in the world. And I must begin with this right away. After the ban was lifted, South Korea saw its first institutional sale of cryptocurrency holdings. Thus, World Vision Korea became the first organization to sell its cryptocurrency holdings after the phase lifting of the restriction on institutional crypto trading, when it sold 2.55 ETH on the Upbit market. In the second half of this year, South Korea intends to permit cryptocurrency trading by publicly traded companies. And that's significant because South Korea is a huge fan of XRP. And in the second half of this year, we'll see South Korean institutions purchasing XRP. That's where I think this is headed. $430 million, 0 cents, leaves BlackRock in a single day, ending the company's IBIT inflow streak. It took place on May 30th. This is my perspective on these ETFs. The Bitcoin ETFs continue to thrill people today. However, I believe that demand for the XRP ETFs will increase. Additionally, I believe that once XRP ETFs become live, some of the money currently invested in Bitcoin ETFs may move into them. We will have to wait and see where this goes. However, I anticipate that the XRP ETFs will perform at least 4 times as well as the Bitcoin ETFs. When these Bitcoin ETFs were first introduced in early 2024, do you recall all the excitement? Was the amount of money coming in await the launch of the XRP ETFs? According to Bitwise's CIO, the XRP community is largely responsible for the cryptocurrency's enormous success. Thus, Matt Hoogan is the source of this. According to him, the XRP community is accepting the notion that XRP and Bitcoin cater to distinct markets and that the success of Bitcoin does not interfere with XRP's goals. I concur with that. There are, I believe, 2 distinct marketplaces. Believe that those who own Bitcoin and have earned significant profits with it will never look beyond it. New individual investors are entering this market. I attempt to teach those individuals about Bitcoin since it's not only up. The Bitcoin maxis like to pitch that as a pipe fantasy. However, I do think that Bitcoin's future lies in its ability to operate across networks like XRP and Ledger. People can genuinely transact in Bitcoin in this way, and they could complete it for less than a penny in a few seconds. For Bitcoin in the future, that would be revolutionary. The maxis are currently too arrogant to adopt the XRP ledger, but that is how things will ultimately turn out. Why wouldn't people move Bitcoin in the same manner that they could move XRP? Uphold claims, full-on change, real estate and title deeds, supported by the government and operated on the XRP ledger. Now, fractional ownership is operational. No, builders. There will be a great deal of value flowing into these networks from tokenized assets, actions, and all directions. Furthermore, it will be more than just the XRP ledger. The Stellar network, XDC network, Hedera network, and Algorand will all be the sites of this. IOTA and ADA, as both networks are designed for the future. People will understand that they shouldn't have been neglecting tokenization if it truly begins to gain traction. It's the future because it opens up the entire world of investing. Everyone wants to get involved. That is to say, it is now retail investors rather than credit investors. The average working person who want to invest in something they are passionate about, such as music or upcoming films, will be tokenizing their own assets. If people need money quickly, they will be able to tokenize perhaps 10% of their home. After a while, they repurchase the tokens. There will be a ton of choices. We're so early still to tokenization. Today, Black Swan Capitalist published 2 different posts. He claimed that because Tether is backed by dollar-denominated assets, it will also collapse if the dollar does, and that the fictitious liquidity supported Bitcoin will also decline if Tether does. Bitcoin will not take over as the primary currency. It is slow, erratic, and reliant on tokenized asset. With XRP, you can transfer tokenized asset from point A to point B. This cryptocurrency is fantastic because of it. What are crypto debit cards? How do they operate? And where can I use them? Why are credit debit cards used? This brings us to the topic of cryptocurrency debit cards. In the future, you will have your own cryptocurrency wallet and the merchant will have their own cryptocurrency wallet. You will be able to transfer money straight from your wallet to the merchant's wallet without the need for a middleman. However, for now, this is how cryptocurrency debit cards operate. You use your cryptocurrency debit card, which has $1,000, 0 cents on it, but $5,000, 0 cents is required. You go to your crypto.com app and say sell ETH equivalent to $4,000, 0 cents. The ETH you sell will be converted to actual USD, and you may use the crypto.com app to transfer the funds to your debit card. If your card has a $5,000, 0 cents balance, you can use that money to pay the shop owner in USD. Essentially, you are selling cryptocurrency into a stablecoin and then utilizing that stablecoin to make purchases from the merchant, and they operate in this manner. In the future, I believe this will progress. Additionally, there are additional issues with cryptocurrency debit cards. The main issue is that you run the risk of being hacked. Additionally, there is still regulatory uncertainty. You are limited in your acceptance. To put it another way, there can be problems if it's not a Visa, MasterCard debit card. However, I can't think of any place where it wouldn't be accepted if it had the Visa or MasterCard logo. The transaction fees come next. High fees for converting cryptocurrency to money may be imposed by certain cards. Examine the charge schedule thoroughly to prevent unforeseen expenses. Additionally, it is a problem since in order to use the debit card, you will need to convert cryptocurrency into a stable currency. Additionally, since we are still utilizing our cryptocurrency account to pay for transactions, using a crypto debit card has tax ramifications. Therefore, using a crypto debit card is subject to taxes. As you sell cryptocurrency in order to exchange it for cash, depending on the difference between the cryptocurrency's purchase price and its value at the time of use, this could lead to a capital gain or loss. Local laws, however, determine the precise tax ramifications. 1099 forms that summarize your revenue from cryptocurrency sales are provided by certain card issuers to the US Internal Revenue Service. They submit reports to the IRS, just like Uphold. The IRS receives reports from Coinbase. It is also done by others. Because each time you make a transaction, it's as if you're selling your cryptocurrency. It is a taxable event as a result. In all honesty, the majority of XRP holders are long-term investors who will experience long-term capital gains rather than short-term ones. You are a long-term holder of XRP if they purchased it when it was only 50 cents. You will experience short-term capital gains when XRP breaks out if you purchased recently. However, first in, first out is always the rule. Therefore, even if you purchased XRP today, let's assume you did so for 50 cents, is that correct? You then purchased more XRP today. The long-term hold of XRP, not the short-term hold, will be released first when you sell, even if you don't sell your entire bag, in order to profit in the upcoming run-up. That is one item you might consider while you are selling. Whatever you bought initially, you'll always sell first. It should be that way. Uphold has previously stated that. Since I don't keep cryptocurrency on Uphold, I'm not sure if they've changed that over time. I purchase it and remove it because when these cryptocurrencies take off, you never know what will happen. At that time, some swaps will be unavailable. When Bitcoin was hitting new all-time highs last year, we saw it happen several times with Coinbase. It might occur once again. A man in New York City lost all of his 401k funds, totaling $114,000, 0 cents, when his paychecks were stolen and cashed. This essay demonstrates the necessity of being digital whenever it is published. And it, in my opinion, it explains why you get articles like these, because they say, well, we could have transferred the funds to your checking or savings account if we didn't need to send you a physical check. Even though we are moving away from paper, this will still happen. Everything is becoming digital. There is a lot of paper even in trading. In the very near future, they will eradicate that. It will be everything, but that's where XDC will truly shine into the digital realm. A strategic Bitcoin reserve was decisively rejected by the shareholders of Microsoft, Amazon, and Meta. These businesses are acting in this way because they are aware of the volatility of Bitcoin. They are aware that they would be purchasing the top if they would establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve at this time. If you invest the same amount of money in something like XRP and build up an XRP strategic reserve, you can actually use that XRP, even though it might do a 2